Hi, this is Edward with sonsofgod.com, and I don't know if you can see, this is Ava. Yes, Ava, which is actually my son and son's dog. Anyway, we're here to just share a couple things this evening. We will be making a number of changes over the weekend on the direction of the Sons of God website. The format that we're going to do, whether we're going to continue any videos at all or go to audio, I haven't decided. But we're going to change really what we're presenting and the mode that we're presenting it. But a couple of things that I thought I would share with those of you that will see this video, which will just be up for 3 or 4 days before we take everything down while we restructure exactly what the Lord is doing. But in the last several days I've been giving further thought to the story in the book of Matthew and the Gospels, which we all know so well, the marriage supper feast of the Lamb. And it's very interesting as I was thinking about this, and this is no cutting edge revelation, but it might be a deeper insight into perhaps the dynamics that we see happening. And that is, as you know, the story goes, Christ went to the sons of Israel, and many of them rejected as the story unfolds. Many didn't come to the feast. He finally commanded the disciples accordingly go out and command them, from the hedges and the byways and the highways to come and fill my house. And so you've read the story, and we know the story, and we can get caught so often in looking at that as a past tense reality, as understanding that that was true during the time of Paul, and that really speaks about the ministry being extended to the Gentiles, and pretty much ascribe that to that time frame. But I think, as you probably understand, that really wasn't dealing with that time frame. It may be alluding to that and to the scribes and the Pharisees and whatnot, what happened, but that was really painted as a picture of what we would see in this day. And more that's what we see. And it's always good just to get an understanding of this, that Christ is coming to His people, and His people, for the most part, are rejecting Him. Now, some of you might think that's kind of a strong statement, but here again, I'm talking about sonship. I'm not talking about old order or sweet Jesus or whatever. I'm talking about Christ coming to His people to bring them into sonship. And the vast majority of Christianity that really has rejected the Lord. And like everything else, unless you have eyes to see in Revelation, what I'm saying won't really make any sense, because you'll look at it and say, these are all great Christians, they pray, and they love God. Excuse me. And it certainly can't pertain to them, but it very much does. And I see that unfolding now. In fact, I've gone before the Lord to really find, okay, Lord, who and where is the anointing of sonship? Who's it resting upon? And we've seen such a small smattering of, or scattering of people that are within the religious paradigm or community. But I realized that Christ was not limited. He went out, and it doesn't matter if it was a harlot, wine bibbers, it doesn't really matter. He was sent for those whom the Father had prepared. And that's what we'll find in this day. And in many ways, I feel as though the Lord is, well, He's bringing those in from the hedges and the highways and the byways. But it's not in the context of going out there and passing tracts and testifying and testimonies for Jesus. But there is something where God has prepared the heart of His people, many of which walk in New Age circles or whatever they might walk in, but their hearts are being prepared for sonship and for literally this rocket boom blast that it's going to take to leave the old and move into the new. And so I find myself really looking as the day unfolds to see where the anointing is resting, upon whom has the Lord called out. And all of this came out of just looking to the Lord over a young man recently, and to say, okay, Lord, what are you doing here? And the word came very clearly. He was going out to the highways and the byways, and there are those that have been prepared for this hour. So nonetheless, like I said, I'm just rambling, and maybe this is more of an intercession than it is anything else. But I just believe that we have to move without a conditioning of where we're looking, and just understand that God is preparing His people from every walk of life for sonship. And like everything else, it's not quite what we've understood it to be. So anyway, that's about it. I will do another video perhaps in the morning. I want to talk a little bit further about diet. We'll post it here at the site, and then it'll get reposted once the site is restructured. But I want to talk a little bit more clearly about diet, about how Ann and I live, the way that we eat, and even some of the things that God has led us to do in setting up a small little company that provides certain things that we do. And so that should be forthcoming